It's time for the... Hello, everyone. Wagwan. And look at this lava lamp. Half blue-blin, but not all the way blue-blin. But this is might not be the only vid I record today, so maybe it's blub-lobin in a minute. Next video. I've tried my best. Right. You can thank me, by the way, for the lava lamp, just by saving my album. I did one. An album. I did an album. Mad. And I'm proud of things I've done, but that one is like some of the top list. So for the new guys around here, hello. You can give back to me if you like. Check out my album. There you go. If you haven't seen it, I Am the Instrument. You get 10 songs. That's it. Just a 10-song roster in your playlist. Find out which one you like the most. Find out which one you skip. I'm interested. See, it's mad to me. There's a track on there called Istanbul. I wouldn't skip that, but that's not some people's style. Right. Go ahead and check out my album. Some of the finest work I think I've done. Of course I'd think that though, wouldn't I? Bias. Right, anyway. On a topic, we have REMIX, GBB25 Elimination. I can tell you before this begins that this is a talking point of controversy and many words spoken. So me as a judge, with my official live notes, and I have a lot of them for this one. Yeah, I do. There's a lot there. Okay. I will tell you where I ranked him. I will tell you where he ranked, and I will discuss it. I will tell you how it sounds in video, how it sounded live. I will sit back and enjoy this with you guys. So lock yourselves in. Let me just lower the timbre in here. And let's get on with this. Let's get on with this, eh? 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 No wonder I'm a dad. Okay, let's go to the... Play. All right, then. Ooh. Oh, that's tough, man. Yo, tough.
I say the 3, y'all say the 2, and the 1. It's on REMIX. Crowd in 3.
He's referring to tapping his nose with bass. Okay, let's go. Just checking the levels. Okay. Right, back to the crowd.
Let's begin. It's the way that I'm feeling.
Oh, strong start.
Still trying to find my meaning. Trying to find my way. But I'm falling away. Falling away.
Oh. Oh. We'll talk. Sorry, people.
Look at me, I'm one of the grains.
Oh my days.
From the dark where the reaper don't wait. Took my time, now I'm one of the greats. My name in the walls of hate. Now look at me, I'm one of the great.
Okay. Okay. Wow. He has some crazy tricks, man. Okay, his demeanor's not the strongest there. All right. Shit. Okay. Incoming yappage. You need to be a patient man or woman to watch this one. Oh, I struggle here. I really struggle. This one's the hardest to explain. Why? Okay. All right. I don't want to be a man that fails to articulate, but I've had a coffee. I've got energy. I've got the brain in the place, and I'm worried I'm not going to nail it to explain this to you. Okay. So, step one. The reason why this one's complicated is because he is everything. Everything. He is everything. Every weapon, almost. All spectrums of skill, and he's everything. That is something I'll say first and foremost, which I will admit is a good thing, even though it will also be an insult or a bad thing. I'll have to talk through that. So, firstly, I was happy enough to be able to message with REMIX and speak to him the next day after it. I just wanted to talk to him about his elimination. Proper cool guy. I've spoke to him other than that anyway. Cool guy as well. And yeah, inevitably, REMIX is a beatbox freak and such a hard worker, such a sick guy for beatbox. Right, he's everything. So don't take these words too literally, okay? But he is messy and clean. He is powerful and quiet. He is immature and mature. This elim was not good and good. The structure is good and bad. I'm stuck. I'm so stuck. It's for every great thing, there's a bad thing to counteract the seesaw. This one is so easy for me to critique and so easy for me to compliment. He has one of the most complimentable eliminations and one of the most critical analysis eliminations for me. And so that's why I'm stuck. I'm so stuck about how to explain this on camera. So I'm going to watch it through again. At some points, he is second place. And at some points, he is 14th place. Maybe 15th. And there's only 16 people. And so why? And also, it's a meter. So tell you what, I'm using my data brain to explain this one and why this one's a little bit of an anomaly. Most people have a trajectory along their elimination. If you create a chart which goes like this with the X and Y axes, and going along, right, is time, and going up is how the ranking. Most people have an expectation. Somebody shows something like that. No, I've shown that before. This was codfish. Well, more like that. You know, so start high, go low. Some people will go like that. Some people just plateau. Remixes is like this. That's what it's like. It's not that bad. That hurt. I used everything to do that then. What the Where do I rank this? Right. Why do I say this is for the most part good? Okay, this is so obvious. This is easy. So, Remix if you're here. Remix fans if you're here. Critical Remix haters and critiques and myself. Everyone watching, listen. What does this mean? Potential. First and foremost, if you cannot display second place traits, you cannot be second place. And not everyone can do that. That's why Remix, at some parts, is exceptional. And he's also exceptional of a beatboxer because he displays traits of someone that can go all the flipping way. He is so wicked. But he also is showing things that are not good. But his fault and not his fault. So, for the bad things, he is to blame for a lot, but not everything. Okay, that's where the controversy can come in. I will talk more about that in a minute. Okay, let's watch through again, and I will start to talk about how I feel when I watch this. Okay, so strong start. I will admit this start here. Oh, fast forward.
Let's begin
now. So this strong power, strong, and he progresses stuff like that, right? Okay, so again, we're on a seesaw. I'll explain why. So here's the pro points in this moment. The pro points. He is powerful. He is explosive. He is impulsive. He is what you guys want to hear. It's the thing you want to hear. On the flip side, it's frequency barren, and it's also a little bit easy in technique. Something that you wouldn't look to try and think about if you're just trying to enjoy. And that's another reason why I enjoy the love that Remix gets. He creates controversy, which is sick, and I'm really proud of him for that, because he's showing what you want to hear. If you like Remix, well then, sick. It's really sick stuff. But from an analytical standpoint, and I think that these techniques are not complex. I don't think that they're easy. I'm not being stupid. I'm great at lip rolls, or I understand the technique. Okay, that doesn't mean it's easy, sure. However, the difficulty of doing that and using that as surprise or in the set, which you'll see quite a lot, is a little bit impulsive in the way of, I don't know if that's the choice when he can do the most crazy stuff. So that, but then, so how do we show the simple? Okay, well then we need to show simple in a more unique way, because some of the techniques are pretty doable, or I will also admit, I've heard some of these techniques for quite a lot of years in the scene, a good 8 or 9 years. Some of the techniques, like the inward bass combinations, or the drums over inward bass, or the lip roll patterns, stuff like that, the double voices, these things, I've heard them. And so if we're going to show 30% difficulty beats, we need to find a new fresh method. Yeah, now I'm happy with what I'm doing. Freshness. Remix is fresh when it's complex and the later tricks. I want to see Remix being fresh with simplicity. I want you guys, at some point, if you care, go and type in Bookie Blanco Battle Clock Elimination or Seeding Round. And this is a good example of fresh simplicity. We need simplicity that makes you go, wow, that's a stamp of you, a stamp of originality. I like when you hear that, you know it's napalm simplicity. Or then you got Codfish, oh, you don't know, oh. And with Remix's bass line, before he comes to the drops and the tricks, at default level, it's a merge of techniques that I think are relatively common. And I really want to hear the bass pack of Remix to be really original. That's something, an underlying thing that's missing, in my opinion. Okay, so his placements of vocals are sick, but the placements of the fillers aren't sick. They're the most common. Like, so the template's quite common. And I've got another thing as well. Yeah. This is why it's an issue. Okay, so in chess, there's an ELO system. That's how good you are. Beginners are 200 ELO. Intermediate players are hovering around the 1000. More avids are in the late 1000s. To get professional, we're going 2000 plus, or at least this is getting elite. And then 2,500 to 3,000 is the world's best. And above 3,000, we've never really seen. Shout out Magnus. Now, the reason that there is a divide in opinion, and this is the part that Remix will not want to hear, but I have to address that. I have to. This is platinum literature. I've nailed this. At least how I feel, and I'm only 1/5 of a panel, and I'm only one human, and you can disagree with me, and you can even hate me for that. That's cool with me. But Remix does things that are 1,700 ELO. The only people that are above 1,500 ELO will understand is 1,700 ELO, and anyone below 1,000 ELO won't be able to rank what he's doing properly. Ah! If you think your beatboxing is under 1,000 ELO, and this is about a 1,000 ELO beat. Okay, if you're under that skill, I might suggest that you don't know that a 1,700 ELO technique is that rank, and you might accidentally think it's 2,700 ELO. But for people that are over 2,000 ELO, and now we're talking about professionals, they can critically analyze what is and isn't. But this is not the be all and end all, because Remix got one rank that was really high, top 3. So there is people, elites out there, that are still favoring this information. I think Remix beatboxes a lot under 2,000 ELO, and it's not a choice of take the timbre down. I think it's sometimes a maturity choice. Like, sometimes his snares are rash. Like that one. Sometimes the snares have an inconsistency, and I think it makes me question how good is he, because you'd analyze the snare and make sure it sounds fat every time and perfect. You'd think about it. And also the placement of the fillers and the sound choices inside some of the drops. These things are lower ELO than the people might think. Whereas, for example, Wing likes to go down to 1,000 ELO, but everything is well-mannered that it's hard to even question that, is that even 1,000? But it is, but it's just done with a performance timbre characteristic originality that other people don't have. Yeah, this one's a yap. Yeah. All right. Let's keep going. Now he goes, and then the progression is, which I'm good with that. It's not the highest progression we've got. It's a lip roll, then a lip roll with an inward vocal variant. But it's nice, isn't it? I think Remix is killing it here. He's nice. He's doing a development. This duck, I can't do this roll. I like this bit. I really like this bit. This break is sick. No drums. Boom, dum, dum, dum. This is an interlude that I like this. Get your breath too. Now. This part is crucial. This is 2 placements dependent. If I heard this loud and clear, I would rank this literally 2 places higher, and I'm not even lying. That is a potential killer idea. So it's like, it's like that, but I'm not the best at the. Oh, that was good. Okay. I feel like that's tough to do. I feel like pulling away. Finding the whisper with the meow squeaks. Remix. You're a genius. Legend. This is the problem, man. I just properly think that if Remix picked all the things that are great and did them great, he'd be. It's just the sky's the limit. But that's the beauty. That's the beauty of experience and the beauty of being a pioneer in the flesh, like he is. He's doing things that are generic, but he's also doing things that are revolutionary. And I love him for it. And I'm so happy we have him in the community making and entering. We should be thankful that he enters these comps because we get this excitement. Unfortunately, this one did not come out too much because you can picture this, right? Let's agree. Can you picture he does this? Hold on. Okay, picture this, right? You can picture the crowd going, oh, listen. We should hear the crowd going, whoa! Because it's one of those. It's one of the wow moments. But it did not come out very much. I just heard like I did not hear the clarity. Now, yin, yang, yeah? That's one thing. Heads and tails on a coin, yeah? Okay. 50-50. You understand, right? Ding, ding. His fault, not his fault. That's how I would assess this. Straight down the middle. It is his fault because he needs to pick textures that have maximum definition on the microphone. Which means if for every low, we need a high, or we need a mid to complement. So, right, high, low, mid. The thing works. This one has, which is supposed to be high, but if not done perfectly, it becomes a whispery mid. Listen. Good. Not. And in this technique, it's got 2. It's like halfway. And then the whisper on top merges with the non-squeaky meow. So is almost one sound. And the inward bass underneath is a little bit louder, and therefore it's like eating up the sound. And so it's falling into that. And it is his fault too, because he's doing that. Which means that the sound's even harder to define. It's more muddy. It's closing the frequencies and making a cupped noise, which sounds a little something. My mic is too good to do it. See, look, I can't do it even if I try. I have not got my dynamic microphone. But if you cup a dynamic mic, you can hear the difference. So it's his fault because he needs to have surefire techniques and the mic technique to complement. Now, on the flip, this is also not his fault. And I talked to him about this. Unfortunately, his low end was so prominent that details and textures just did not define themselves in the room for me and most. So when he does the and he does the and he does the like, he does a thing with it later as well. All the tricks around it kind of just sounded like this live. So if he went, all I really heard was like, I can't. It's impossible for me to do an impression. But basically, his low frequency took up the room, all the space, that all the tricks around it were too hard to hear. So for that reason, I do believe that Remix's Elimination was the most affected by the environment. Because if there was a room that had a frequency, a prominent frequency that supported him, aka, you know, a tin roof or like a boxy room, or maybe some reverb. You know, there's different contexts in different rooms. Basically, this one was not the most complementary to his set. And that means that he ranked a little bit lower for me than maybe he could have. So the conditions of the room might have lost him a couple of ranks for me, maximum. I said to him, okay, you know what? I'm going to pull up my score now. Hello, everyone. This is the official rank. Here's my list. I had REMIX in 11th place. And his final rank was 10th place. So I was, again, as I've constantly been, really close to the overall rank, but one lower. So I contributed to that overall rank with the 11th place. Now, if he sounded more, if there was more definition in his frequencies and I could hear the tricks, I think I would have him with King Inertia. So he would either be 8th or 9th. And if he managed the execution a little bit stronger with by picking stable choices and the cupping and stuff, I think that set itself had the potential to go above Pac-Max and Codfish for me, and then put him therefore in 6th. So what I'm trying to say is 2 factors took him from 6 to 11. Half his doing, half condition. Now, when I looked and created my overall rank, this was the section in which I was potentially the most confident and happy. So you're not listening to a judge that is in 2 minds. You're not speaking and hearing somebody that was worried about where I placed stuff and if I needed to change. No. This one particularly, okay, I'm actually going to put my hands up and say, hey, everyone, remixes was the second easiest rank in my entire list. The easiest one was Kaji. He was first, and that was, I didn't need to think twice. And with Remix, it is completely and utterly perfect where I've placed him for me. He was, okay, I will talk more about that in a sec. Let's just keep watching a little more. This one, man, again, it could be a couple spots higher if the textures all came out. But this is not easy. It's like that. It's, in nature, it's somewhat messy. There's too much going on. He's too good. He's being too good. I mean, even being real. Jokes aside, he's being too good. He's doing too much. This, in theory, is never going to work to the maximum level on stage. As world-class beatboxers, we have to assess the difference between becoming 10th and 1st, or making those cool events and doing good, or being the real top. We have to make these sacrifices. And just in my own opinion, if I was Remix with the sound set, I would find a way to do a bit less, but show the similar trick. Like, I'll probably go... Like, I would separate the layers and not place them all on top of each other so that everything is heard. And it's dumbed down for the people that don't understand. And it's crazy enough for everyone to go mental. And it's just enough balanced for the judges to not question it. But he's throwing it all in one. And that can be, like I said, a hit and miss. There's a messiness to the refinery, but there's a expert creation. Now, if he did this to you, off mic and in the flesh, holy moly. I haven't even heard this person to person. I don't actually need to. I know it's going to be some of the world's craziest beatbox. I know. Because I can hear, firstly, he's loud. which, by the way, is a good thing about this elimination. He's a loud beatboxer. But to hear that in the ears where there's no sound barrier of the mic, there's no monitors to play with, and also you don't need to just listen online with a balance and an EQ, actually just the raw human, wow. Yeah, this beatbox, this elimination would be best formatted for stood in the room, hearing it. Not even an online with a mic format, not on the stage per se, but, and that in this is the greatest compliment I can give REMIX about this video. So this is my opinion, the biggest compliment I have is you would be in my top 8 and some if we did this in a room. And that, my friends and viewers, is the true definition of how good are you, in my opinion, at beatboxing, is how good are you in the room. No barriers, raw, unfiltered, how good are you? Mind-blowing tricks. But it doesn't stop the other cons, which is why he would not be first. There is just so, in theory, listen, in theory, this one's fantastic. He's got it all. He's got such a various bag. He's throwing it all out on the table. He is not holding back. I've been critical about some of these guys for holding back. He is not. That's what I commend. He's gone all in for this. This elimination, in theory, is fantastic. But again, when he did the... I just heard... I spoke to some people that were sat on the upper seats at the back, and they told me that they heard every trick and every quality, all the texture details. But at ground, underneath him almost level, it got muddy down here, and the frequencies just sounded like when he did that. That's why, again, there is not a massive response from the crowd that you are expecting, I think. And this, like, again, the fillers are a little bit here and there. They're explosive and wow factor, but there can be better method. Again, this is another thing where it's like, we could input something fresh here. Instead of... There could be like... Like he could use a... He could do a run of original stuff in these breaks. Instead of that. I'm one of that's just a personal suggestion. Grains. Now this bit, that came bloody through. Hence that reaction. This was mental. This was like, where I've got him ranked, I'm like, whoop, for a sec. Look at that. Listen and look. This high frequency pierced through. Listen how there's no other textures. It's just diddle, 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 and it worked. See, I could go... I can do many things over the inward bass, but I've also been on the stages to realise that it's hard to define all the textures, and there's a drop later that helps that. And this boom, boom, dum, dum, boom, dum. Again, you can't really hear this little nasal inflection, so you just kind of hear. And at this point, with a minute left, I'm thinking we've gone back to basics, but in a fashion of this should be a drop that's a brand new trick and the heightened energy, but it's kind of just it's just And to be honest, even if the nasal thing did come out, it is kind of still a little bit, maybe not the best thing to do in this moment where we're looking for the stamping moment. But I love this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Potential is massive. From the dark where the reaper don't wait, name in the walls Like the lyrics.
Hey now, look at
Really, I
me.
like these lyrics.
I'm one
I
of
still think that he doesn't need to do all of the straining. I want to hear his voice. The na 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 na. That's just me. He doesn't have to do it.
in the walls of hey now, look at me.
Look at
I'm
me.
one of the great.
One of the greats. I love that. Now this part. I know that won't come out. And you can be one of the world's best beatboxers and still not know. You know? That is you gather everyone that's 2,500 elo and above, and you have personal little chats, and they can make the big differences. I could have told Remix that won't come out. I could have just, as mate to mate, I could have said, yo, Remix, nah, don't do that. Do something with the I don't know, or the duck sound. Just do something over the top different. I just know, it's something you can't explain. I just know that won't come out. I lost it. Well, it kind of does. It can come out. Okay, I'll redefine this. It can come out, but it can't be used as the bang biggest attack that has a pause in advance. It's too temperamental, that exact technique, because it's too many hats and level 1 percussions over a big bass. It's just a dangerous move, basically. It can be used in the earlier stages, let's say, but we need to use those as the final attack. The one where he make that pause, turns around. If you go in some stuff like that in this moment, the reconfigurement would have helped. Oh man. And one thing that just might go over your heads. Look at this guy. Man, this guy with the inward bass. That's why he's one of the top world's best S tier with bass. The pitching. Dun, 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 dun. That's so sick. I can't do that. I can sometimes sit there and appreciate the excellence of this guy. I can hold my hands up. I can't do that. That is mental. Oh my god, Remix. It's so good. I know, it's so hard to take this. It's so good there. This might be the best bit. He's chopping them over the top of them. Like that. Oh! See, even this part, if he just went, it would have been clean, but he went, like he whispered in, like breathed into it. It's these little touches that we need to think about maximum clarity and refined delivery, just to make sure it's perfect. The atmosphere's there, the quality's there. You speak with your sounds clear. So this break, you know, it could have been, but it was. So I just felt a little bit of a discomfort. That, if that was the drop way pause, that would have even been a better choice. And then he went into the tricks. Now, the demeanor at the end here, where he knows he didn't destroy the stage. It's moments like the double squeak and the whisper is a trick. Now, I don't need him to tell me this. I don't need that. I'm right when I say this. I don't need, I know, I've been here. I've been in there. I know this is true. Remix, right? That was supposed to be one of the big moments. I know, it's the peak. That's supposed to be the part that, you know, when a YouTube video is going like that, when you hover over the bar, like, you know, when you hover over and then it has like a peak moment there, like an arch. Remix, don't you agree, right? That in theory is going to be the part, the spike. So when that doesn't hit as you want it to, it can disbalance your mental state going forward for the rest of the set. I've been there. It's so hard to stay full energy killing it when the best moments don't hit. And so for everything that didn't work perfectly for this one, I think it's 50, like I said before, 50-50. His fault, not his fault. 50-50. Definitely room to improve on this one. But half of the room to improve is the refined delivery, like do a better take, you know? How I said Codfish's could have been even higher, but he was not the best deliverer, right? Whereas, though, I keep saying it, but like Den and Wing couldn't have done more. They were pretty perfect. Remix falls under the category of could have done the same set a little better, but more importantly, it would have been a reconfigurement of things, would have been the biggest difference. Okay, and now to conclude this video, the reason why my score is totally and utterly perfect, and we can talk, I've got one more elimination tomorrow. You already know where I ranked it because of the gap in the rankings, so I can talk openly here. Obvious, easy. This is my longest analysis. Fair play, Remix, you've clearly done something right. Okay, look on my list. I'm going to pull it back up. Editor, legend, thank you for doing this again. Here's my list. Here's the easiest definition of my life. Pack max and above is obvious. No one's touching that. That 7 is stone wall for me. No debate. 8th place, 9th, 10th, and 11th are all in their own. And then, okay, it looks like this. Top 7 is here. Okay, Kaji's here. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. A drop. All right, so pretend we've seen that so far. So now we're at the 7th is here. Go down. Then we've got Inertia, Den, Stitch, Remix. The rest. This is a massive gap. Sorry to the ones that are below that, but that's my truth. The difference between Remix and Dropical could have been 6 places on a different night. The difference between Remix and Dropical is huge. And the difference between Remix up to Inertia, 4 spots, is tiny. Inertia, Den, Stitch, Remix. Why is it that order? Okay, so Inertia's the top because I liked it the most. It's the best one for me. And then I could have gone Remix and then Den and Stitch, but I went to try it. I went to write it, but my pen wouldn't move. I went to go Remix. Oh, I can't. It won't go there. I can't put it there. I tried. It can't. But when I started writing below Stitch, it went like they did it for me. And that's because Stitch and Den were pretty much perfect. And I just simply could not put this one above the practically flawless Den and Stitch. Practically flawless. Den and Stitch sounded more like Dropical and Exalos level of dynamics. And Remix sounded more like the top 7. So for what it's worth, Remix, it felt inevitable it could rank up there. But that's where this divide happens. I've been saying this the whole time, how loud you sound and how good you sound on mic matters the most. It really does. If Remix was placed above Den, then Remix would be a 9th, and that top 9 sounded better on mic than 10 to 16, and it would actually totally make sense. The top 9 sounded this good on the mic, and then the bottom 9 were this good, in a scaling order. But Remix had to go below 2 of the people he sounded better on mic than, and that is not because of Remix as much. but it's actually because of the sheer brilliance of Den and Stitch. I don't mean to always bracket them together, by the way. They are so different in their own personality and artistry. It's just they bind together because of how flawless they both were and how musically elite they both are. They ended up together for that reason. And it was either above them both or below, and they were too flawless. I could not physically put Remix above them because it was flawed. And there is absolutely no way it could go below the Tropical Exalos down there into that list. So that's why it was just the easiest decision ever. And there was also, between Pac-Max at 7 and Inertia at 8 was a pretty big gap, I have to admit. And then Inertia, Den, Stitch, Remix, they were very close. And I can even, the gap, okay, it would kind of look like if Kaji scored 88 on 90, and then Pac-Max probably scored 81, like 83 or something, I don't know. I'm trying to do theory here. And then 83 for Pac-Max, now it's down to 79 for Inertia, 78 for Stitch and Den, 77 for Remix, and then it's about 69 or 70 area for Dropical. Yeah, something like 7, let's say 70 is perfect. 70, and then to the 69, 68, and then another number that I'm not saying for the rest. You know? So there's almost a 1 out of 10 gap between Remix to Dropical. You just don't see that in my writing. They're next to each other. That's the problem, really. Remix is so much closer to Inertia, who's 4 spots away, than he is to Dropical, 1 spot away. But in the point system, that doesn't matter. He only gets 1 more point than Dropical. That's due to the condition of participants. Oh my word. I was going to record more vids today. No way. This is the only one. Did the lava lamp global? Nope. Oh my god, we have been to Yapistan. That's not even a fun video to watch again. This is just a one watch, isn't it? Oh, I hope that you enjoyed that one watch. And final words to Remix, bro. You're such a sick guy, man. I love your energy. Your beatbox has so much fruitful potential. It wasn't the best. It didn't land the best on its day, but it also wasn't bad. And the potential of that set, I get it. I think he's sick for writing that set, and I think this is a set to listen back to, and especially in like a in-person or studioized kind of video, it would particularly kill it. All right, thanks so much for watching this, guys. The original link is in the description, as always. And if you click on that link, you'll get a link that you'll see Remix's channel. It's Co-Collab, the video. Big up to Remix for hitting 100k. So deserved. So deserved. What a beast. If you want to rank this one first, wherever you rank it, you are right. It's all subjective in the end, guys. See you later. Thank you so much. Goodbye.